What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Bond Chronicles here, joined by my favorite fellas. I got who I got over there.
It's your boy Dwight.
It's your boy Eric.
That's what's good. That's what's good, fellas. It's a pleasure. We got our intro, our pilot episode we got going on here for this King's Corner podcast. How y'all feeling?
Happy and ready, bro. Happy and ready.
I'm good. Blessed.
Definitely. I feel like I look way bigger than y'all. I need a farther away camera at some point.
No, you look maybe too close.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, this is pretty dope. We all came together, through social media. I'm on the East Coast. Y'all are both on the West Coast.
Yeah, North Bay area.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, man, this is our joint. We're just gonna kind of get into some different stuff. Did y'all want to give kind of a little bit of a background, introduce ourselves to the people? Dwight, if you want to kind of tell them a little bit about you, where you from, why you do the podcast, all that good stuff.
So my name is Dwight, 32, up in California. Been first time doing the podcast. We wanted to do this through QMC, comedic collective. Been doing a couple blogs, articles, work on I've done a couple like extras, small little episodes on the web series Reckless Behavior, and they were just trying to do something for the men this time.
But shout out to the fellas. And Eric, what brought you here? Where you from? What's up with you?
What's up, everybody? My name is Eric. I go by That Boy Media, but you call me Eric. I'm 28. Shout out to Queen Media Collective for this great opportunity. Actually met Michaela and Imani through Reckless Behavior, which is currently out right now. And I'm just thankful and very blessed to be a part of another podcast. Radio and communications is my specialty. So I'm really glad to be a part of, a community of, brothers, and hopefully we can inspire, motivate, and get our voice heard. So what's good, everybody?
What's good? And I'm Mr. Bond Chronicles, definitely a member of the King's Corner podcast here. Definitely shout out to the Queen. Yes, sir. Shout out to the QMC for holding us down, giving us this opportunity. In the world today where, a lot of things are very women-centric, they reached out to us. They reached out and saw that there was a need to get some black male voices. And so that's what we're here to give them.
Keyword.
Yeah. So we're going to give some different perspectives. For me, this is another podcast that I do. So I definitely enjoy podcasting. I think I'm maybe 2 or 3 years late because the wave is definitely hit. It's a bunch of them out there. But we're going to rise to the top. We're going to do our thing. We're going to separate ourselves, differentiate ourselves, and we're going to give it to them 100%. So it's kind of funny that our first episode, we're going to start with this topic. But the Bow Wow and Soulja Boy Verzuz, we're all similar age group. So everybody listen to Bow Wow and Soulja coming up, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to see it make you feel a certain type of way that like they're on Verzuz and it's like they are now older. Because I remember crazy story when I was young. I used to have the cornrows and all that. And me and my mom was in the mall, a big mall out here. And my mom, like, I grew up in a Christian home, so she wasn't really into all the secular music and all that. And it was probably 15, mostly white girls ran up on us. And my mom you don't know what Southeast DC is, but it's hood. And so they ran up on us like, oh my God. And they thought I was Lil Bow Wow because I had the long hair. My head was down.
They got excited.
That's hella funny.
And my mom's flipping out like, who is Lil Bow Wow? Who is Lil Bow Wow? And then like the girls got all shook. Like it was kind of funny. So now just to see, them kind of grow, it's been kind of crazy. And then the dance phase and doing the Superman and all that with Soulja. So what y'all think? Did y'all enjoy the verses? Was it what y'all expected? Was it not? What y'all think?
Honestly, I think it's been one of the best ones. It may have been one of the best ones to me, in my opinion, because it was hilarious. And then at the same time, like, it brought me back with the music. And then I also thought it was hella funny that they were grown, but like the music in the background, their voices still had like the young versions of it. Like, I would have took that out, but that's on them. But Big Draco put on a show for us.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It was a show, and like I knew, like I follow Bow Wow on like social media and stuff, so we've seen both of them, but we've seen kind of there's some characters, and everybody's seen the Soulja Boy joint with Drake still in his flow, and all that, and then Soulja Boy being the first person to do this and the first person to do that, which a lot of times.
Everything.
When you fact check it, like he's done a bunch of stuff
It's
that people
true.
don't really be giving him credit for. And then even in this, like the first time that Bow Wow and Romeo shared a stage together, Soulja Boy made that happen. So it was just funny that
he was the first rapper. He was the first rapper to do it.
First rapper to do it. So now definitely shout out to him. But no, it was dope. I thought the music selections was good. Like you said, it brought me back to the music. Some stuff I didn't even think about that he was going to play. And then I think we had another versus first. Soulja Boy played the same song 3 times. And so I don't think I've ever seen anybody play the same song. Was that?
See, I missed that part. So I seen he played Make It Clap, and then didn't he get the remix like live and then he played it?
So yeah, so he played Make It Clap, and then like I think it was his first song, and then probably like 6 songs later, he said, "I'm gonna play it again." And then French Montana came out, and I guess French has a verse or has the verse on it. So then French came out, did his thing, and Bow Wow was like, "What you mean? How you playing the same song again? Didn't we already hear this song?" And you know how Bow Wow be all animated, so like he was pissed off, like how you playing the same song again, and then in typical Big Draco fashion, you're like, well, guess what? You sick of that? I'm gonna play it one more time because I got a verse from Nicki, and he played it again. But it was Nicki Minaj's verse, and so it was just they did it on their own terms, and I just thought it was crazy. I thought it was real good.
With a couple of songs, he was like, "Where your verse at?" He was like, "I don't have a verse. I made the beat."
Yeah, and he did that with there was a Drake song. He did that, and he played the whole song until his little 8 bars at the end. He's like, "That's my song."
A bar is a bar.
A bar
is a bar. He said, "You mad, Lil Pee Wee? You ain't got a song with Drake. You ain't got a song with."
He kept calling him Pee Wee. That was funny.
Called him Lil Pee Wee. Hey, somebody got to fight, or you got to shoot this man. He called this man Lil Pee Wee in front of the crowd, and then Bow Wow did the little piano hands. I was like,
it's a whole bunch of memes on that one right there.
Yeah,
he knew it too. He said, "Well,
honestly,
go ahead."
Honestly, growing up in that era, it was just kind of refreshing to kind of see and hear all of the different, all the hit songs. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Bow Wow to me kind of took that over. No discredit to Soulja Boy, but for Bow Wow, Bow Wow was that dude. And, yeah, he do a lot of clownish stuff on social media and on the show that he owned. But at the same time, Bow Wow was that dude from 2000 to like 2006. Everything that he put out was a hit from back to back to back. And it was just, but it's just good to see. It's kind of going back to memory lane and hearing their music. I remember when Soulja Boy first dropped on the scene. YouTube was relatively new at the time, And he was kind of one of the first people to start like a little dance challenge, the challenges that you see on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. He started that with the Superman, and I remember being on the bleachers with my friends. We was doing Superman on the bleachers, so it just kind of took me back to a simpler time in life, when things wasn't so hectic and so crazy, so but it was cool. It was nice. It was a little nice memory lane back to when music was good.
Y'all seen him? He put the shades on when he was performing Crank That.
Yeah, with the Soulja Boy on it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the
Yeah,
Soulja Boy
with the
get
baggy
ready.
jeans.
Man, man, that
Man,
took me
good
back.
times.
I
Good
was
times.
like, oh,
And I think that's
I
good
Crank That,
for
but
like
I already sat down.
a little bit of the younger kids, like because now a lot of kids they see the Soldier Boy gif or meme or the little snippet. They see the stuff about Bow Wow that he be doing, but they don't understand like these dudes was super instrumental. And like I like the context to a certain extent that Romeo put it in, where he said like Bow Wow, you the Michael Jordan, like you paved the way, you did all this for us, and then he said he was Kobe. I don't know if Romeo was Kobe, but the thought
Nah,
process,
I think he said, stop talking.
yeah,
nah,
no, he
He was
wasn't.
cutting
yeah,
that
He
mic
ain't
off when he
Kobe.
nah.
started that.
I can't even name a Lil Romeo song. Nah, that's out.
Right, you right.
He was in
Yeah,
some movies. He was in some movies, and he had the Lil
Yeah,
Romeo show. I don't really remember too much about that. I remember, his dad masterpiece, but I don't know about that. But it was nice to see them squash their beef, and Lil Romeo give Bow Wow his flowers while he's still here.
yeah. And I think that's one thing I like for verses in general. I haven't loved all of them. I thought there was some that were better than others, but I think it's kind of one of those things where oftentimes too often people gotta die before we celebrate them.
Hmm.
And I think specifically like when I look at the DMX situation, he was able to do the verses with Snoop, and it kind of revitalized and
Right,
reminded us of who he was. Because from the last time he
right.
was making hit music, he had a bunch of issues like legal stuff and
Hmm.
drug stuff, and you
Hmm.
forget
Hmm.
how great he was. But then you saw him in that verses, and it's like,
Right.
oh yeah, he was that dude. And then
He
I don't
still
know if y'all
got
watched
it. Right,
the
right.
BET Awards, but the tribute they did was really, really dope at the end. So if y'all haven't seen that, I would definitely go watch that on YouTube. But it was really good. But like you said,
it was
get these people their flowers. And off the mic, they got some rosters too, because Bow Wow done pulled some joints in his
Right,
lifetime. And people be playing my man's, but
right,
his
right,
lineup
right,
is up there.
right, right.
this is true,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember I
but
remember
he ain't got a
the
Drake
first
feature.
time I heard Bow Wow.
Mm.
Well, everybody can't afford Drake. Maybe his money ain't
Man,
long enough to afford Drake.
man,
But I remember the first time I heard Bow Wow, I was in Vegas, and Neptunes produced the joint, "Take You Home." Um, that was the first time I
that
like
was
had like
man.
at that time, at that era. Man, it was crazy, mad fire, and I actually had bought the CD, and for him to be so young, he had like a nice roster of producers and stuff. I don't know if he was writing his music at that particular time, but he had a really nice roster of artists that he collaborated with. Nowadays these young rappers, that's his age. It's like the beat is hot, I guess, so called, but they don't really have. It's like who are they? Like when you knew a Bow Wow song, you knew that it was a Bow Wow song. When Soldier Boy dropped a song, you knew it was Soldier Boy. Nowadays, I can't figure out who who is who. It's like young
Everybody starting
this,
to sound
little
the
this.
same because they copying the
Right.
flows.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
everybody a
Everybody had their
shooter.
own,
Everybody on
even though there was a
lane.
lot of competition. And what's crazy? I was actually walking past a liquor store, and they have legalized lean. Have y'all seen that?
Nah.
Yeah, I was walking in Oakland. They have it's a. I didn't really go. I didn't look into it or check into it because that's not my thing. But
Right.
it was legalized. They sell legalized lean in the liquor store.
So it got like promethazine in it, or you ain't really look at the ingredients.
I didn't really look at the ingredients to see what was in it. But it's like,
Was it
damn,
Oakland?
it's like when I was a kid, we wasn't we wasn't into all of that and doing all of that. So crazy how this type of culture has influenced the kids and the younger adults of this generation.
No, I definitely agree with.
I'm not surprised at all of anything in Oakland. I'm not surprised
Yeah,
at anything in Oakland. Anything.
but that's
I mean, I'm not trying to
that's kind of crazy.
downgrade Oakland or nothing of that sort.
No, no, no.
But
But
I was
that's
just
where
kind
you
of
found
looking.
it.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, we doing
No, it's
this.
not a downgrade to Oakland, but it's the honesty of Oakland. I've had crackheads try to sell me a baby in Oakland. Anything is possible in Oakland. So if you telling me that they selling
Wow.
lean out of a market store, a little liquor store, I believe it.
Wow.
I believe it.
How much was the baby going for?
Wow.
A baby. $50.
Wow.
A $50 crack
Oh,
baby.
wow.
A $50 crack baby.
Dang,
Fuck
that's
out of here.
crazy. That's crazy.
So you said
Well,
Oakland? I believe you.
But yeah, shout out to Bow Wow. Shout out to Bow Wow and Soulja Boy for the verses. Doing it for the culture. Who would y'all like to see next? Oh, actually, matter of fact, as we speak about versus Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat is on tonight.
yeah, I had it planned
Who y'all
earlier.
got? I'm on Team Bobby.
I mean, that's
So,
Bobby.
here's the thing, and I'm just telling you this because I was watching it. Bobby got the songs, but Bobby can't sing. Like Bobby was trying to
Can't
sing.
sing now? Oh, you trying to sing now?
Nah, that
He was
thing gone
struggling.
early. Like his first song, he tried to hit a joint. Keith Sweat started singing Bobby songs to help Bobby out. Like, and he might have got warmed up since then, but there was a couple times out me and my girl was in here and I was talking to her like, I don't even know whose song this is because nobody's singing. Like they just playing the track.
I mean, come on. I mean, we all knew it was going to take a toll on us eventually.
Damn, Bobby.
You know.
Come
Yeah,
on, Bobby.
he nice and plump. He
That
nice
boy,
and
that boy,
heavy.
that was the dude back in the day.
Yeah.
That was.
Everybody wanted to be like Bobby. And
Yeah.
damn.
You're right. But yeah, he
Damn.
wasn't his best. Wasn't his best look, but you know, it's entertaining. The songs still play, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't performed
So who
it.
you thought
Usually
won in your personal
play and just have
opinion?
somebody else.
I think it was still going on.
Oh,
At the
okay.
time.
Okay.
I don't
Well, I
know.
have to check it out.
Yeah, I have to go back and rewatch it.
You know, I can't do Keith. You know, I can only do like a couple of songs of Keith. You know, Keith. You know, nobody. Like I can't do the whole. You know. I can do a couple of songs, but Bobby
Start getting annoying.
voice is like.
Yeah, he was playing this
Bobby
new
had it.
It's like
stuff.
butter, but from what you describing, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
neither one was really perform. So that was the thing I was talking to my girl. I was like, watching Bow and Soulja's energy and how they were performing. And that's another thing I need to give Bow Wow credit for. Like, he was rapping in his performance. Like, he was still spitting the words real fast. When he was like, you didn't feel like there was a deterioration in his ability. His voice just changed. These two, nah. And I think it's hard when you have singers like Earth, Wind, and Fire's joint. They still was able to do a little bit, and they still sounded decent. Keys sounded all right, but they wasn't matching the tracks that was being played, and it was a noticeable difference for me. But as far as who I would want to see next, like you talking like all time, or just somebody that I actually think will do it.
somebody that you actually would think that would do it.
So this is who, and I think that because it's these two, we could get it, and I would love to see it. I would love to see a Drake and Wayne versus. Now they got a bunch of songs together.
That would be really good.
So I don't know how they do all, because they got a bunch of songs together, but I would love to see them two in the same room performing all their joints.
Even separately.
Yeah, they definitely got 20 separate, but that would be for me. If them two could go, and I would think, but the bag would have to be crazy. Like I don't think Versus, no disrespect, can afford Wayne and Drake.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They can't do that. They're not gonna do it.
Now, if they did it, the numbers would be crazy. But I don't know if they can make it happen.
If Timbaland and Swiss made that happen,
it would be a cultural moment like the Jeezy and Gucci, but on a much bigger level. Like that would be our generation's. Jay-Z, I don't think he'll ever do a versus, so I'm not counting him. So that would be it.
Well, can't nobody match Jay-Z, to be quite frankly honest.
Nas.
I don't think nobody can match Jay-Z. He's too powerful.
I think the only verses would be Jay-Z versus Nas.
You think Nas can do it?
Nah, Nas don't got enough hits though.
I don't know.
I think Wayne can
run.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Nas has a lot of underground stuff, but he doesn't have a lot of commercial stuff.
Like Wayne has mixtapes that still hit. I don't think Nas has enough mixtape stuff that can compete with all of Jay-Z's commercial success.
But I get what you're saying though, Dwight.
I wouldn't want to see it. I wouldn't want to see it.
I feel like Nas probably would be like the best bet, but as far as popularity and like the commercial status goes, I don't really feel like it's gonna match. I don't really feel like it would match, like, Jay-Z. They've both been in the game for a very long time. Much respect to Jay-Z, much respect to Nas. I like them both. But, Nas to me is more of, rough, very, for the street. Nas to me is very street. Jay-Z to me is more for the crowd. He has some street stuff. His early stuff is more, street, and then he kind of crossed over, and then he started doing songs with
rebranded
Beyonce and Mariah Carey. So I'm not saying that Nas don't have no major hits, but
after he died on the Black album, he came back a different guy.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Agree. Even with the Black album, I feel like it was still he was kind of transitioning.
I think Change Clothes was
a
on
little
there,
bit more different than what he came to.
Yeah.
A nice joint. I remember that joint. Nice joint. I think Pharrell produced that.
Yeah.
I would like to see another mega producer do a versus.
So what producers y'all want to see? Because I got one in my mind.
See a younger one too.
I was going to use to go against Jay, but what producers? Because we haven't. Pharrell hasn't done nothing. Jermaine Dupri hasn't
got his though. That would be good. Jermaine Dupri and Pharrell. That would be.
Who else? Is it? Dre.
Dre
hasn't done one. I'm trying to think of who other. And then you got some of the newer guys.
Like the early 2000s. Who?
Dre versus Diddy would be fire.
Diddy?
East Coast, West Coast. Yeah, because Diddy got a bunch of joints. He can pull
That'd be perfect. That would be perfect.
He can pull from all the bad boys.
Diddy can pull 20.
And he got his own joint. So Diddy, and not to mention how much he probably wrote for. Because that was the person I was gonna say. Because when in the verses you can do like Soulja Boy did, which you wrote, rapped, and produced. And so I feel like if you got Jay, but if I put Kanye up there with what he's written, rapped, and produced, I think Jay-Z might have a long night.
Yeah,
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
Because if Kanye start playing Jay records that he produced versus Jay, like that would be the Kanye thing to do.
yeah,
You think
yeah.
Kanye would ever do a versus?
Nah. I think
Just
now
hope,
he's
just hope,
seen.
just hope that he don't have a spasm.
I think he's like. I think he hasn't really made like the Christian, or because he's making the Christian stuff. I don't know if he would go do a versus and perform the pre-Christian stuff. So if he would get past that, Kanye got a catalog, a crazy
I think
catalog.
Yeah,
Kanye
he
versus
do.
Pharrell would be Kanye versus
He
Pharrell would
do.
be fired. Ooh, I'd pay to see that. Kanye
Yeah.
and Pharrell.
As
Mm,
producer wise,
mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
think
That'd
Pharrell
be
take him
fire.
out.
What'd you say? You said Pharrell would be
That would
Kanye?
be.
Oh yeah, it'd be fire. Fire,
I
fire.
think so. I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good
Pharrell
fight.
got that
I
heat.
think it'd be a good.
Everything that
Oh
he
yeah, yeah,
dropped
yeah.
was for real. That Kanye gonna be running for his money with that one right there. If Pharrell don't win, it's gonna be a tie. It's gonna be real close. It's gonna be real tight.
Yeah.
You know,
But yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
no doubt about it. But much respect to all of them.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting that we kind of on this topic on verses because I was talking to a friend of mine and she was like, I don't she's much older, and she was like, well, I don't really understand the whole verses thing. To me, I feel like it's another form of competition and it's another form of division within our community. And I was pretty much explaining to her like, it's not really about competition for me per se, and I can only speak for myself, but I feel like it's more of a platform for artists, especially from the or late '90s, late '80s, early 2000s, to introduce their music to another generation and kind of play that music for the next generation that's coming up, and kind of like letting the fans decide on who they think is, or what they like about the versus competition. um but I thought it was very interesting that she was kind of like she's a professor, so she thinks, and I just thought that it was really interesting that she kind of came up with that conclusion. But for me, I didn't see it as division or competition. I just felt like it was more of getting the younger people of today, kind of getting them an insight on their music and what their kind of music was back in the day. So do y'all
Not
think that it's more of do you think that it's division?
go ahead, Dwight.
Nah, I think maybe the closest one that ever came close to that was the Gucci versus Jeezy. But even at the end of that, they was like, it's over and done with. Like, leave that in the past. But besides that, I feel like everybody just been on versus has just been like getting their roses.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, I think it's both. I mean, I think it's good to be both because I think as an artist, as a competitor, you want to be the best. And you want to be compared against whether it's your contemporaries or whether it's people that came after you. Like there's the talk right now, the Lil Kim versus Nicki, and you got somebody that really paved the way for someone else, but then someone else that took it and just went nuts with it. So I think the competition or the versus aspect, it's called versus for a reason, but I don't think it's a situation where people are getting up there trying to put the other one down or criticize the other one. It's this is what I did, this is what you did, and it's really a celebration of our successes. And when you came out with that song, like when Earth, Wind, and Fire and them was talking, you came out with that. I knew we had to go back in and do something else.
Yeah,
And I think we
behind
saw the
control.
same thing with like Brandy and Monica and others. Like it was a friendly competition once they got on the stage, but in some cases it was real beef. Like the Jeezy Gucci thing was real beef. Let's not kid ourselves
Yeah, I
here, but
remember.
I
Hmm.
think it's provided
Hmm.
a platform for really just people to, like you said, get their flowers, remind people of who they were, because a lot of people, you know, in the internet age, only hear about what happened to people at the end of their life, and forget the impact and influence that people had. So I don't see that. I would, if you know that lady, I would ask her like, how often do you watch it to see how it goes on and how it is done versus what it's hyped up to be. Because if you just look at the advertisement, it looks like it's a battle, but it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a what do you call it? It ain't battle rap where you're like
a
dissing the other
gladiator
person.
thing or something like that.
You're really celebrating the other person. So I think it's different.
Right. That's what I thought. That's what I felt. But you know, everybody has their own perspectives and on their own opinions on, you know, certain things.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. I've never
How do
really.
y'all feel about the Lil Kim and Nicki? No, go ahead.
No, Dwight, you can answer. You look like you feel a certain
I
type of
don't
way.
know. It's like having Diana Ross versus Beyonce. Like you can't really have the original formula with the new formula. It's like, what you want to show me, a clone of a clone? I don't. I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think that's a good choice. I think she just did that because Nikki's the top. So who else can you compare yourself to? If that's who she thinks she is, she thinks that she deserves that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I would like to see, and I don't know, and to be quite frankly honest, I don't really even know if this is a good matchup between the two of them. But I would like to see more of a Lil Kim versus Foxy Brown type ordeal. Because Eve already did hers. It came nobody really match Missy. Missy is in the category all by herself. Trina has already done one. So I feel like Foxy Brown would be a good matchup between the both of them. However, I know that there's some bad blood right there, so I don't think that we'll ever get that. As far as like Nicki Minaj, um, I don't know. To me, I just feel like Nicki Minaj is a little too current, and for me, versus from what I've seen, versus is more of late '80s, late '90s, early 2000s. I think Gucci and Jeezy to me might have been like the more recent one, but even still, then they were mid 2000s. Nicki to me is a little too recent. She's a little too current for me, and I don't think that. To me, quite frankly, honest, I don't think that it would be a good matchup between the two. I honestly, it's really sad to kind of see, the originator and the person that, Ray said, that kind of took it and did, a crazy 360 with it, kind of go at each other's necks like they've been doing in the past. It's really sad. I think they could have, easily worked together. I think that they could have made history together. But instead they was fighting each other, which is very sad to see. I don't think that would be a good matchup. I think Kim and Foxy would be more of a better matchup than Nicki and Lil Kim, in my personal opinion. But will we ever get that? I don't know.
I don't
So
think Foxy can perform anymore either.
So, and that's the other point, and that's what I
She
saw
still rap? I
tonight.
ain't heard nothing from her.
Yeah,
She's
I don't.
like deaf.
Yeah.
She's like deaf. She can't perform anymore.
So for me, I'm. It's surprising that y'all say that. And so I will say, for me, I'd say the caveat to me would be if they patch things up beforehand, Nicki and Kim, I'd be good with it. And it seemed like because Lil Kim brought it up at the BET Awards and I interviewed her, and she said Nicki, and she wasn't disrespectful, but she was resolute. And if I'm Kim, I feel like Foxy's cool, but the bag that Kim can pull from with Big and Bad Boy and all that, I think Foxy it wouldn't be competitive to me. I think Foxy's dope, but she ain't Kim. It would be similar to me,
Yeah,
musically, to like Jeezy and Gucci. Gucci's dope, but Jeezy's was in a different league as far as musical and hits. And I think you would see that difference if it was them two.
Mm-hmm.
But with Nicki got songs. And I don't think she has the classic songs like Benjamin's and some of the other stuff that Kim got, but she got some joints. So I think musically, if they was at least friendly, I think musically it would be great for women rappers. I think it'd be great for culture to see both of them two on stage, both performing, because Kim performed at the BET Awards, so she can still perform. We know what Nicki's about. And then I think they will be able to bring people out too. Like, I think you're going to start seeing more people bring people out as it becomes more live concert venue like Bow and Soulja was bringing people out. I think you're going to start seeing more of that incorporated. And obviously, Nicki can bring out Drake, Wayne, all them. And we know Drake going to be there because Drake's still waiting for that opportunity. And then Kim if she bring Diddy or some of the other people out, like she got a bunch of ties too. So I think it would be dope as long as it ain't, catty and that awkward energy and kind of semi-hostile. If they cleared it up and they both promoted it, I think it would be dope. And I would like to see it.
Nicki is not doing that.
And that's the only person I think
that would be cool. That would be real cool. I think, yeah.
No, I think those are the only two people that I think they can only really compete with each other as women and rap. I don't think anybody else has their kind of catalog. I think they're both above really anybody else that I can think of. Unless they went at versus a dude.
I think Kim should have won against Trina.
And Trina actually
that's
I think Kim would kill Trina, but Trina beat Eve to me, and I didn't think she was going to do that. I thought Eve it wasn't going to be that close, and Trina did that. Trina performed. She brought Trick like
Eve don't do music no more. She with a white man. She's like, I'm with these.
She with a white man in another country.
What?
Yeah, well, they over there.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how. But let's talk about how Eve was with Stevie J before she got with that white dude, and Stevie J dogged her out, and then she got with this white dude, and he been treating her like royalty.
That's Stevie J's formula, though. Like it's not like Stevie J got the best track record. Stevie,
he don't, but
I think we've seen that with a couple women.
He was a decent person back then.
But you see that with Eve.
He's been with a lot of people.
And we saw it with like Sierra and Future. You've seen it with I'm drawing a blank. Like Serena when she was dealing with Drake and some of them other people. When these black queens get out of them bad situations,
she was with Common.
And what's the girl Cassie? Once she got away from Diddy, she got pregnant, she got married. Like we see that unfortunately where these dudes, like we think that these women are a certain way, but once they get with the right kind of guy, they're willing to change and adapt. Because Eve was Rough Rider, like she was tough.
She was.
Sierra was out here looking kind of crazy. Yeah. And now she got long hair. She's changed. But I think you get the right person pouring into you around the right kind of person is going to influence you, you know what I'm saying, a little bit differently. So now I'm with it. And I think that's what we're here for.
I feel like that was a perfect ending.
Yeah, I was going to say
that was a perfect ending.
That's what we're here for. Is to, give our voice, to share our narrative. And like I said, I'm going to shout out QMC one more time. Shout out to y'all. for taking the time. It was a pleasure doing this with y'all. I'm excited for what we got coming.
Absolutely.
Where can the people find y'all at? Where can we find y'all at on social media?
You can find me on IG. It's Obsidian Guild _OG, or you can find me on QMC. They got me tagged everywhere, stuff like that.
What about you, Eric?
Yeah, like you said, Ray. Shout out to Queen Media Collective for this great opportunity. I enjoy doing the show with y'all. Can't wait for more positive success. And you can find me on Instagram. I'm mainly on Instagram. I don't really do Facebook too much because, like you said, Ray, they be trying to block me and do all kind of stuff like telling the truth and going in on them white folks. But you can catch me on Instagram. You catch me on Instagram on Dat Boy Media Productions, and you can check out my YouTube channel. I got a second season of my podcast, Do Rags and Conversations, coming out in late July, and my YouTube channel is Dat Boy Media TV and Media. So you can check me out on those platforms.
Definitely. And I am Mr. Bond Chronicles on Instagram, Mr. Ray Bond on Twitter. We have this podcast that we all do together. Like I said, we got some stuff we do individually, but the content is the same. The people are the same for the most part. So if y'all like what y'all hear, definitely like, share, and subscribe to all we doing. And we're gonna be back with y'all soon.
Yes, sir. And I've been looking at your clips on Instagram. It's been really good. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I've been with you and your wife. They've been really good, bro. Keep that up.
Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all, man.